Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 19 of albums that are 50 years old in 2023. That's right, we're looking back on all the great albums from 1973. We're picking out our 31 favorites. A very tough task. A very tough task. I've already made a couple changes here and there, and I am lamenting the fact that in my honorable mentions are some absolutely fabulous, legendary albums, but you can only fit 31 in a 31-day show, right? So those will have to be saved for the honorable mentions. So, and today I've been waiting to talk about this one because we got some jazz fusion stuff coming up over the next few days that I'm very excited to talk about. And of course, they had to make my list. So here for day 19, we're looking at an album that was released in October of 1973, recorded at the Record Plant Studios in New York City. Polydor Records release. It is the third album from this band. It is The Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy by Chick Corea's Return to Forever, also produced by Chick Corea himself. So this is a kind of a groundbreaking album for a lot of reasons. First of all, like I mentioned, it was the third release from this band, but on this third release, a totally reconfigured lineup, a reconfigured way of delivering the music. This is the Chick Corea Electric Band. Not Chick Corea Electric Band. Chick Corea's Return to Forever going in an electric direction. I'm getting everything confused here this morning. It's early. Don't mind me, you guys. So for this particular album, so gone from the lineup is Flora Purim, Joe Farrell, and Airto Moreira, replaced by Lenny White on drums and Billy Connors on guitars. We still have Chick Corea on acoustic and electric pianos. This Fender Rhodes playing on this is absolutely amazing. Organ, harpsichord, and Stanley Clarke, of course, on electric bass. So here, if you've listened to the first two, Light as a Feather and Return to Forever, those are very light, airy, kind of Latin-tinged, more acoustic-based jazz albums. Not really fusion, right? There's a little bit of electric keyboards on the second one. But for the most part, very different beast than this. This is a fully electric band, lots of rock influences happening here. You've got the searing guitar work of Billy Connors. There is a little bit of acoustic guitar stuff on here too. There's tender moments on this album, but for the most part, this is a very vibrant, in-your-face, aggressive collection of jazz rock songs, now known as jazz fusion. The amazing drums of Lenny White all over this album. You got Stanley Clarke's thick electric bass sounds, and of course Chick's layering of colors and all sorts of great things. Some absolutely amazing songs on this album. Starts over at the title track, Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy, terrific. Just barely over 3 minutes. Wish it was longer. After the Cosmic Rain follows that. Just an incredible workout from the band. You have the really, really well-written and composed Captain Senior Mouse, which has lots of Latin touches and great guitar work, great keyboards. I mean, just a spectacular song. Theme to the Mothership, incredible. There's a spaciness to these songs as well, which I really dig a lot. Then you have Space Circus Part 1 and 2, might even be my favorite track on the album, or whatever, two-part track. Awesome. And then The Game Maker, and that's incredible too. This, like I said, this is a very aggressive album. And I could just imagine, again, I was not listening to this in 1973, but I could just imagine jazz purists who had followed Chick through many of his solo albums, his work with Miles. I mean, a lot of the stuff he did with Miles Davis, also much more in the fusion realm. But then, to hear those first two Return to Forever albums and then get to this, must have been quite jarring for some people who were, like I said, were more jazz purists and not really interested in this big rock bombast, that would come with this blending of traditional jazz and Latin music and rock firepower all molded into one. And, some progressive rock too, because let's face it, 1973, bands like Yes and Genesis and ELP and King Crimson doing pretty well for themselves at this time period. And it's probably not, too hard to fathom that bands like Mahavishnu Orchestra and Lifetime and Weather Report and Return to Forever are doing more rock-based, song style arrangements, and it's just kind of what was in at the time, right? Let's push the boundaries of what we normally know as rock or jazz, and let's try something different. Let's fuse some things together. Let's fuse classical and jazz and rock and blues all together and see what we come up with, right? But yeah, this is just incredible. This is like, and again, it's the only album with Bill Connors on guitar. In Return to Forever, he would be replaced shortly thereafter by Al Di Meola. And of course, the rest is history. You got 3 spectacular albums that come in the wake of this. But man, those 4 electric Return to Forever albums, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Not really a weak song or anything amongst all of them, and just absolutely intense stuff. And to me, Return to Forever and the Mahavishnu Orchestra, especially, their classic lineups, the first Mahavishnu lineup. I mean, I really like this lineup with Billy Connors, but I think they really became the legendary band with Al Di Meola on board. I mean, the lineups of those 2 bands is absolutely ridiculously good, just ridiculously great. Ridiculously legendary, right? Whatever you want to call it. So anyway, as you can see, I'm gushing over this album because I absolutely adore it. There it is, Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy from Return to Forever, starring, of course, Mr. Chick Corea. Let us know what you think of this album in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 19 here. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Stay tuned tonight. We got the Monsters Den coming up tonight, where we are going to be ranking the movies in the REC series, REC. If you haven't seen them, you like kind of like, sort of zombie type films, found footage films, infection, people going ballistic after they get infected. That's what the REC films were all about. They're actually a lot of fun, so there's 4 of them, so we'll be kind of talking about those and ranking them tonight, so that's coming up on the Monsters Den. Tomorrow morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff, and then we've got on Saturday this week, Saturday, no programming on this Saturday of the panel shows. We'll have the UK Connection next week, but Sunday we've got ranking the albums. Pat Benatar's this Sunday. Jamie Laszlo and myself will be ranking the Pat Benatar discography, so stay tuned for that and more. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Very, very important. Also down below, the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page for all sorts of great Sea of Tranquility attire and things. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. See you tomorrow morning with another album that is 50 years old in 2023. Till then, have a good one. Bye-bye.